Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Bullseye, another edition. We've got so much to talk about. Joey Johnston, Caylee, Cottrell here. We've got the final home football game. The Tulsa Golden Hurricane come to Raymond James Stadium. It's senior day. The Bulls now 5-5, going for a bowl bid with a victory. So much going on. Caylee, we can't do this with two people.
We're just missing something today.
Well, something's missing. I mean, Darek Sharp is missing, but we can't do this with two people. We need somebody else to. Oh my gosh! Wait a minute! It's Jolene Shepardson, the volleyball coach, and that's the biggest news of the day.
That's
the
right.
biggest news of this week, guys. The volleyball team just won the American Athletic Conference Championship for the regular season, and now they will go on to Wichita to the tournament to try to secure an NCAA bid. Coach, congratulations. Tell us about what it was like to win a regular season conference championship.
Well, I'm definitely enjoying a lot of wins this year, getting soaked, getting used to that. Need to bring change of clothes, so hopefully we'll celebrate again in a week. So
that's a good thing to get used to,
exactly.
Right? Talking about those celebrations, I mean, I know you're so close with your girls. How special is that for you?
Oh, it's tremendously special because of a couple of reasons. You know, being a former player here, was able to celebrate a lot when I was a player here, winning a couple conference championships and.
Now you have some deja vu?
Yes, and me and my teammates talked about that, and just the attitude we have in our locker room and the leadership we have is very similar to my teammates. And when you have the right people and when you have the right players in the court, that perfect combination, good things happen, right? And they totally believe, just like we did when I was a student athlete here, and I love it. The good feeling in the gym.
Coach, congratulations. You have set a winning tone. Now, let's get on with this program.
For the first time in 22 years, the South Florida Bulls are conference champions. This is no longer a rebuild. It is rebuilt. And they will be the 1 seed come tournament time in Wichita. One of the greatest turnaround stories in college volleyball this year.
Okay, I don't have a trophy on me, so am I allowed in this chair, guys? How cool is that?
Yeah, how about that? A nice co-host, Jolene Shepardson, with the hardware in hand.
I'm telling you, we did the matches on the radio this past weekend on Bulls Unlimited, and it was so special to be a part of. We wish them the best this week in Wichita for the conference tournament, where they are, of course, the #1 seed. We also had some pretty good football action this past weekend, getting you set for the Bulls in Tulsa. But let's talk about that Charlotte game. You guys were there. Joey, what stood out to you? I mean, we could talk about both sides. Just say everything, all of the above.
Yeah, I mean, the second half, 45 points, 31 points in the third quarter. I mean, it was a record for the most points in a quarter in the history of the program. It was incredible running game and a defense that just kind of teed off on Charlotte and just had a party in the backfield with scoring and sacks and tackles for loss. It was an incredible second half and a 59-24 win that actually wasn't that close. The Bulls were rolling big time.
Did you enjoy the offense or the defense more, or are you also all of the above?
Man, how can you not say all of the above with that type of game, right? But also, another cool aspect of that game was the amount of Bulls fans that traveled.
Awesome.
Holy cow! I don't know if you noticed, but we had a packed out little section there, a ton of support for our guys, and they definitely felt it. A lot of love traveled to come see them, and it was cool. I talked to Bryce after the game, and I talked to Mac, and what a game Mac had. So cool to talk to him and give him some love, and then Bryce as well, giving credit to his running backs and to his O-line. And
one thing I loved about your interview with Matt Karras, I hadn't picked up on this. Jalen Schuler stripped the fumble. And Matt Karras picked it up and ran in.
And that's his guy.
24/7. That's a 24/7. Wow. Mac wears 24, Jalen wears 7. That's pretty cool. The 24/7 attack got Charlotte.
Man.
I liked it.
Impressive.
I liked it.
Impressive. They come up with that, and Matt and myself are not coming up with that.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, we've got a ton of numbers from that game that we could throw out at you. We'll do that in our final segment because some of these are incredible. But we got to get to, of course, the head coach, Alex Golesh. We got to get to Sean Atkins, who has some pretty good numbers that he's chasing. And then in between all that, a few seniors you spoke to?
Yeah. I mean, we have a list of them for Saturday, but I pulled a few, this past week and talked to them about their time here and the brotherhood that they've felt. And I mean, what a cool group of seniors that we have. So have that coming up.
And they'll be celebrated this Saturday as the Bulls go up against Tulsa, looking to wrap up that bowl berth. And they're 5-5 right now, looking to do that with just one more victory. Before we get to Coach Golesh, we love to bring you the cinematic recap, the highlights of that win in Charlotte.
First of all, kickoff, go set this tone. Defense, you go set this tone. Offense, execute at a high clip. Have a fucking ball. I'll see you in here afterwards.
Coming here at Charlotte, and you could not ask for a better day. 65 degrees, sunny skies, no humidity. They're fired up, and they're ready to take on USF.
60 minutes of unmatched energy. Those cats are tapped. You saw it a year ago. You continuously see it. Do not let them have any sort of breath. You guys with me? Right off the dribble. In the moment, pull the pin.
As the ball is in the air, we're underway.
Keith trying to bounce it out, breaks a tackle. Teron Keith to the end zone, touchdown. USF strikes back. Sack of his college career for the true freshman.
Pocket just collapsed. There's nothing there.
Second time in the red zone today for USF. Naquan Wright makes it 2 for 2 on touchdown.
Great job getting our cleats in the ground. They really struggle with tempo. Don't be shocked if we get to the 22 as we go. All right? Hey, great energy. We're impacting the game in every phase of this thing right now. All right? Keep fucking rolling. Let's go out here and play as fast as we possibly can. Put these bitches to sleep.
I have one more. When I ask you to celebrate together, I want to celebrate together. Continue to play for each other. Play harder than these motherfuckers. They will tap. They will fucking tap. Told you I love this fucking team because you just fucking keep going. And just keep fucking going. Keep going. Keep going. Play for each other. Execute at a high clip. Hey, mean it when you say it. Family on 2, 1, 2. Hey!
Ready to talk.
Handoff, Joyner up the middle. He breaks one. Joyner will go all the way for the touchdown. Kelly Joyner Jr. right again will just walk into the end zone untouched. He goes down, lose the football. It looks like USF has it. They do. Down at the 2-yard line. Tafiq Byard. Purdy. Intercepted. This will be a pick 6. Paco Austin. Time pressure coming again, and this time a sack and a fumble. Scooped up to the end zone. Touchdown, Mac Harris. There he goes, Kelly Joyner Jr. Again up the middle. Isaac to the end zone for the touchdown.
In this ballgame.
That should do it right there. It will. 59-24.
Let's go! Let's go! Hey, defense game ball. 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers! So, entire offense, rushing record for the school, 27 years. 27 years. Game ball to the offense! Continue to go where we're going. I'm really proud of you. I love you. I appreciate the hell out of you. Please, when we get back, be really smart tonight. Get your butt in, watch the film tomorrow. Monday, we start getting ready.
Well, we've already talked to the volleyball coach. Why not chat with the football head coach while we're at it, Alex Golesh? Before we do, you always follow the other teams around here. You got to be impressed with what Jolene is doing with that squad.
How cool. I saw record attendance the other day. I think it's super cool when it's an alum that's back here doing it and building something really, really cool. And I know obviously won their side last year, built on it with the regular season championship, but I know how much passion Jolene has for USF, and I think when you can come back and get to coach your own squad, that's pretty neat. So super awesome for her and her girls and her staff.
You know, one thing that we focus on, because we are experts on the radio and we know more than anybody, we said, you know, if the Bulls win the coin toss, they got to get on offense first. Worked out perfectly, got on offense first. That's going to be the cure for everything. And, of course, we saw how the big game started, but then the rest of it, Coach, you got to be so happy with how things went down at Charlotte.
Yeah, I think this beginning of us just kind of feeling our way out, we've got to find a way to stop that because, and I keep saying it, but against really good teams, it's hard, and it's a tough way to live, and we continue to live that way. And we've got to find a way to not. Us going on offense for the first time in a while, I thought was the cure, and we got it going. Drove it 6 yards, and then just a bad decision, and it wasn't anything crazy, just a bad decision at the wrong moment, and I think from there, you kind of settle in, and we got the run game going offensively. We were able to pitch and catch on third down, converted a couple of fourth downs, and I think kind of got in a groove. You know, certainly at halftime went in and said, man, like we can run this football. That's, I think, where we're going to hang our hat. And then defensively, you can kind of feel the D-line start to pick it up. You felt like what we were trying to do on the outside in terms of playing really tight coverage and making it really tough timing throws for the quarterback, and then you end up coming up with 4 turnovers, and that is about as big as you can, especially when 2 of those score. Another one sets up a field goal. That's a 17-point swing that's really hard to come back from if you, doesn't matter who you are. And so I think that third quarter you kind of felt this really cool energy on the sideline and were able to go finish.
I've got a positive. 45 points in the second half. But the way it started, coming out of the locker room, Charlotte gets the ball first, 3 and out, get them off the field. You get the ball on the second play, Caylee Joyner goes 54 yards. So if you talk about how to start, I imagine that's about as good as it gets. And I know people may not remember that because of all the points, but the way you started that third quarter really got you going.
Yeah, I feel like we've been a second half team. It's kind of crazy. You go in and there wasn't anything crazy adjustment-wise that happened really on either side of the ball. It was simply, here's where we are, here's what's got to happen. And the keys at that point were very similar to what they were going in, which was start fast, execute down to down, run the football on offense. And but, yeah, you couldn't draw it up any better.
One moment on that play that people, and you probably don't see all these things, maybe you observed them on film, that I loved, and that was on the Joyner run. Greenwald, great to have him back, comes in motion, takes out one of their guys, sparks the run, and then afterwards Dangler comes in and seeks out Gunner, jumps into his arms. That speaks to the brotherhood. And then on the other side, my other favorite reaction was, of course, Jahari, but that also speaks to him rubbing his belly, him eating, what they were able to accomplish. You got to love that stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what you're trying to build, where, you know, Gunner comes back, and those are reps that Dangler had been getting for the couple weeks that Gunner was out. Gunner had a really good week. Like you said, we ran essentially zone insert, and Gunner clinic, hat inside, run your feet through contact, expand the hole, and it's cool when you see Dangler and Peyton in the same, like those guys are happy for Gunner. And Gunner, man, that's a guy that's put in a lot of time here, been through some lows too. And to see those guys really happy for him, you see it in the running back room, those guys are all happy for each other. You know, defensively, I think we just talked about it in the press conference, but Brent Austin Paco picks that ball off pick 6, and he's so mild-mannered and calm. You know, they made him dance, and then he came over the sideline, made him dance again, and the entire defense is dancing with him. They respect how he works. They respect his approach to his day-to-day, and they're genuinely happy for each other. That's how you continue to build a culture. Again, when things are going well, it's easy. It's when things are tough and you expect the same energy and the same passion for each other, and that's what you're continuously trying to build.
Coach, moving on to this week's game against Tulsa, it's obviously senior day. You're going to have 23 guys walking. These are names we know very well: Sean Atkins, Caylee Joyner, R.J. Perry, Naquan Wright. The list goes on and on. So these are some significant players that the fans will essentially be saying goodbye to. And I know you're getting ready for the game, but you're out there with mom and dad and the family, recognizing these guys. What are your emotions, and what do you just think of the whole senior day vibe as these guys kind of get out there the last time before the home fans?
Yeah, I think unique in the sense that it's you still got football after that. I think you try to keep the emotions in check because you're 20 minutes from playing. I think each of these guys have such a unique story. I'm so grateful for each of them individually in the sense that a bunch of them are guys that decided to stay when it was probably pretty cool to leave. And then a bunch of them, I think it's about half and half, are guys that said, man, Coach, I'm coming with you, and I'm going to help you build this. I'm going to help us get this thing back to where it should be. I'm grateful to both evenly because I think both decisions are really hard. But each of them, I think, as they come out, they've each got an individual story that they're continuing to tell. I think each of them are powerful in their own ways. And each of them have a different future in terms of whether it's football or real life. I think that's probably the moment where it starts to hit them, where it's like, man, like this is my last time in here. I better start to figure this thing out a little bit. But it's cool because I think this group can say, man, we've helped flip the culture. We've helped flip the expectation. We're not where we want to be. We're not where I think internally, externally, where everybody wants it to be. But gosh darn it, we're way closer than we were 2 years ago. And so, again, grateful for these guys. And I know they're grateful for what we've done for them as well. We still got a lot of work to do. And that's messages, man. We got to go win Saturday. Then we get another opportunity. We're fighting for another one after that. And it'll be fun.
That's something you probably don't talk to your team too much about, but you can talk to us about the opportunity for one more after that. How important are these next two games, and not just for the extra game, but to continue what you guys have been putting out the last couple weeks?
Yeah, I think they're all critically important, and because you only got 12 of them guaranteed, and so each one matters. Each one matters equally in the sense of you're trying to win week to week, you're trying to go 1-0 every week, and so. I think in the back of their minds, I'm sure they understand the implications of we got to go win these last two. I think in our mind, it's so focused on Tulsa, so focused on today, and we've worked really, really hard to become, and we're still not there, but we're getting closer to become a process-driven team. So what Saturday looks like is a direct reflection of what the entire week looks like. And then it'll be again the following week. I think everybody understands the importance of playing in December and January simply because you get to continue to practice, you get to continue to stay together as a team, you get to bring guys in, your freshmen that are mid-year, you get to bring some transfers in and kind of get those guys ingrained in the culture of what you're doing. So when they get here in January, it's not the first time they see it, it's not the first time they feel it. But it's so important to continue to just keep playing for the young guys' development. And probably more important than anything, I think internally those are all really important. Externally, those guys that are going to walk next week, whose last game it is, inside Ray J, for them to get another game in the green and gold. And I think everybody understands that how important it is. I think not as important as just going and playing really well Saturday.
You can tell me, because I know a couple weeks ago you said you don't like it was the sack record. Tying the sack record, you don't pay attention to stuff during the game. Rushing yards, you got to at some point know you're getting close to a record, or no?
Did not know until the very, very end.
Okay.
When, and it honestly wouldn't have changed anything because I had zero intention of trying to score one more touchdown there, but I did have full intention of letting Izzy operate the offense. I wanted to see the young backs. I wanted to see the young tight ends. I wanted to see the young O-line. I want to see the young wideouts. I wanted to let those guys get game reps in how we play in front of lights, fans, cameras, the whole deal. I think those are invaluable to be able to get those. So I had every intention of us continuing to play. I wanted to keep the clock turning as well, but there was no intent of trying to go put another one in there at the end, just because I've got so much respect for Biff and the way what he has tried to do there, and certainly the respect and love he's shown for me as well. So there was like a fine line, but I knew right before the last carry that I think Andrew Warsaw maybe said, hey, you need 3 yards to set a school record. I'm like, man, I didn't. You could see up on the scoreboard, I'm like, man, that's a lot of yards, but you don't know specifically. And those things don't matter. They happen organically when they happen, but I had no idea.
Well, whatever the numbers are this week, if you can keep the numbers that you've been able to get on the field, I'm sure that's a goal of yours, to give the fans a great show. Keep it going. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Oh, was your neighbor buddy happy?
Very happy.
Good.
He was extremely happy on both sides of the ball.
Good.
Well, 2 defensive scores. Was he
2 defensive scores. He loved that.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Thought you were going to
that
say.
Was awesome.
Thought you were going to say you should have had a
between
third.
that and the Florida Atlantic game, he is giddy and wants to finish strong.
Got it.
Over the moon. Let's see if he can get there this week. On the other side of the ball, however, is Sean Atkins. We're going to talk to him shortly here on Bullseye.
How do you think USF impacted you?
It changed my whole mindset, from how the way I think, how the way I move, how the way I act, how the way I talk, how the way I treat people. It made me to a better person. From now until from last year to now, you see a whole different person in me. So I just want to thank USF for bringing me in, showing me the ropes, and making this last 2 years of my college career an exciting one. The brotherhood means everything to me. I'm gonna miss it when I leave.
I'll never forget those relationships. It's a lifetime bond. Man, it's a brotherhood like no other. It's a family for life. I've been here for 4 years, but I know that I'll be talking to these guys for the rest of my life, and I'm so happy to be in a family like that.
Regardless of what you're doing, you'll do it 10 times better if you're doing it for the people you care about. It's easy to go out there and mess up and hold yourself accountable, but when you go out there and you let somebody that you really actually care about down, you know what I'm saying, it hit a little different. So for me, I feel like one of the biggest takeaways is if you're doing something with the people you love, it will encourage you to do it at a better level.
It was pretty scary coming from the other side of the world, but I feel like I settled in really well, and then I've just grown as a person. It's nice to have all the boys and be so close with them all.
One of the close-knit groups that I've ever been a part of. I love coming in every day, same guys. You got to come in consistently and just love one another. And this year especially, it's just been such a good time in the locker room and just in the meeting rooms everywhere, honestly.
What has your time at USF meant to you?
It's meant everything, taught me so much, met great people that I'll have connections with forever, and I was just blessed to be in this position that I'm in.
This program took a chance on me way back. It's a blessing to be a part of something that's on its way up. Amazing to be part of something bigger than yourself.
For a university like this to take their chance on me, it meant a lot, so I'll give my all to this university.
It's been everything. I've seen myself grow up here. I've seen myself just become, a man here, honestly. And this place this place means the world to me. I've met so many great people, and I can't wait to see what the next chapter holds.
You talk about one of the most beloved Bulls right now, Sean Atkins. Not right now, he's built to that point. So great to meet you. Do you feel that love, Sean, because you've earned it, but you're getting it?
Yeah, I definitely do. The fans come out and support every time. I'm always hearing Sean or 38 being screamed at me. It honestly just is super special. You always dream of that as a kid. So shout out USF fans.
And you even have your own rooting section. Could you tell people what's going on off camera, please?
Yeah, we have RJ Perry over there. I'm only on the show because he allowed me to.
He got to go first.
Yeah.
And he debuted his clothing line, which we may or may not have for Sean in just a little bit that we'll talk about. But usually,
surprise.
Usually I don't have a bunch of notes when we just start talking. Caylee can attest.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure I get your numbers right.
Got a lot of numbers.
Yep. All right. 1,885. It's a lot of numbers, okay? 1,885 career receiving yards. That's third all time. You're within less than 100 of a guy named Rodney Adams and less than 300 of the overall mark of Andre Davis. I know you're not thinking about that stuff, but how do you react to something like that?
You kind of just have to be humble about it. That's something that it comes with the line of work that we do. You go out and just compete every single day, and just to be named with those guys, it's honestly a blessing, and hopefully I can go out and get the remaining yards. But I'm not focused on that. I just want to go out and win with the guys. Everything's still in front of us. Go get a bowl game.
Nice.
You have just exploded the last couple years. When Coach Golesh and the staff came in, what changed?
Honestly, just the belief in me from the coaching standpoint. Golesh kind of came in with open arms, and he just embraced how I play the game, and he just honestly just built the confidence in me and got my process right, and just to go out, step on the field and just play with that swag that, you know, I like to call my ego, but like my other side, like 38 baby, like he kind of comes out on the field.
I love it. And Coach LD is such a cool coach.
Oh, yeah.
What's it like with him?
LD's the best. You know, that's another guy that kind of came in and took my game to the next level. He's so smart. He's just a character. If you don't know LD, you need to meet him. Shout out Coach Washington. But yeah, he keeps everything and he keeps everybody kind of on that little like playground, you know, kind of feel to where you're just going out and playing football. You're just having fun. So yeah.
Talk about swag, the two of them.
Yeah.
Off the charts.
LD.
But when it's a guy that's played in the league, I mean, does he throw that around a lot? I mean, can you vibe it off of him?
Yeah, the one thing I'm tired of hearing is that he would score every time he would get the ball. That's just not true, you know? So I'm not a hater, but everybody will test it.
All right, got to ask you, you had a rough moment this year, and I'm talking about, of course, on the two-point conversion when your pass got knocked down at the line of scrimmage. So what's wrong with the passing game this year? I'm talking about the Sean Atkins passing game.
Yeah, so typically I normally got a whole bunch of passes in practice last year. This year I haven't got any.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. I never got any passes at practice.
You could have stopped.
No.
That explains everything.
But you know, I don't know what's going on. I'm a little offbeat this year. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
I'm getting this sneaky suspicion that maybe he's going to get another chance. But you don't have to, but is there anybody else that could throw a pass, not quarterback-wise in this team, and if so, who?
So actually, every year we kind of hold a quarterback competition before the season, and you see who keeps throwing the ball. That's all I got to say about that.
Huh. Oh, wow.
We see who wins the quarterback competitions.
Either he means one of two things. Somebody else is going to, and we don't want to reveal it, or you're the only one that's good at it.
Hey, surprise. It's a surprise.
Hey, one thing you're good at, obviously, various skill sets. But I don't know if people know this. He got meme-worthy, and we'll try and dig up some photos, but I'll just explain it to you. Your toe tap catch. Before we talk about the meme part of it, do you get it? Is that something you can even practice? And if so, is it just feel? How does that work out?
I feel like it's a natural feel. You know, as a kid, kind of growing up, you kind of practice that in the house with your parents throwing you the ball. At least I did. With the carpet to the tile.
Well, forget the actual catch. Talk about more with that.
Yeah, so I would always do that as a kid. I mean, I just feel like it's like a feel thing, and I feel like every wide receiver wants a chance to be able to do that just to show that you can do it. But yeah, it was just made a play.
Well, it's
a really good ball, though.
What impressed me about it is, sometimes one-handed catches don't impress me because you could have used both hands, but you kind of had to keep your feet down that way. But the meme, so he's leaning at a 45-degree angle. You could probably make it even more if you want to tell your kids down the road about that. But he's been placed next to Michael Jackson on the Smooth Criminal video. That lean is something special, so get used to seeing that. I know you're excited about this last chance. Not just you, but a lot of seniors going to be recognized. How special is this game coming up for you?
Yeah, it's special. You know, just being able to put all your time into this place and finally being recognized to go out and walk across the field, kind of give my parents like that special moment too of being on the field in Ray J. And I mean, that's all you kind of do this for, is those moments, and it's kind of like a bad but good moment. You know,
Sure.
Final game at Ray J. It's been a long time coming. I'm excited for it. It's something that I've always dreamed about, so I'm excited for it.
Awesome.
Honestly.
Talking about your fellow seniors, you told me last week that this is the closest group you've ever been a part of. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, man. Coach Golesh just kind of came in, and he kind of just continues to harp on just loving your brother next to you and just playing for them. And this year we kind of like just embraced that. You know, we come in, we're with each other every single day. You know, we got so many inside jokes. LD does a great job in our room, especially just kind of making it lighthearted, not always, you know, strict. And it's just like an atmosphere that you want to be in. You know, you're in there all the time. College football gets monotonous, but you know, whenever you have the guys that you want to be around and just joking around, it kind of just makes the days go by a lot easier.
Nice.
For me personally, it has been so cool to see how you have evolved, because I think back 2 years ago, and there I was with my camera, and you were kind of more shy, not really wanted anything to do with me, and now you're so comfortable, you're so confident. I
appreciate it.
How do you feel like you have evolved?
Kind of just being able to, you know, kind of like going back on that last question with the belief in me, you know, on the field, kind of just gave me more confidence outside of the field. You know, it gave me kind of more comfortable, and just knowing that, you know, I can do whatever I want to do. It kind of just brings out the best in me, honestly.
All right, so the seniors are going to get a lot of love, as they should, but you're leaving it in good hands, literally. Tell people your assessment of the skill set of guys like Jaquan and Keyshawn because they're not bad.
Dude, this room's
Josh,
special. You know, you got Josh Porter, you got B. Witt, you got Jaquan, you got Worm, you got you got Keyshawn, you got everybody, man, and Arquise, AJ, like all those guys are talented. You know, Coach Golesh went out, LD did a great job, and those guys really just kind of build off of one another too. So next year they're going to be pushing one another. They got a great work ethic. They love football. And Jaquan especially, you know, I've seen him just grow from last year to this year. And Keyshawn, just the confidence they kind of just play with now and the swag, you know. Everybody in that room feels like nobody can guard them, and that's how you need to be as a receiver.
Nice. All right, as we wrap it up, yep, just in time for the winter holidays. It looks like a nice warm outfit that people can get. And I don't know if you know how people can get it, but I want it.
It's a dynamic duo right there.
1738, man. You know, I've been pushing for this for a while now. Me and Byron both have. And
I love it.
You know, this was our thing last year, so you know, I missed him out on the field this year, but yeah, go get your merch.
And you have surpassed that yardage total, and you're going to keep adding to it this Saturday, I take it, right, Sean?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank y'all.
Awesome. Sean Atkins, we love the guy. I know that Bulls Nation does as well. We will wrap up Bullseye momentarily. So as we wrap it up, I hung on to my impressive numbers, but impressive Sean Atkins.
What a guy.
I'm surprised to hear that he wasn't very he was camera shy. It's hard to believe.
You know, and I feel like that's a testament to what Coach Golesh and his staff has done with him and has developed in the past couple of years, because he was kind of more shy, more reserved. You know, years ago when I was working with him, he didn't really want much to do with the media, and now he's so willing, he's so comfortable. That confidence in him has been really cool to see develop.
We talked about how he's close. He's number 3 as far as yards go. Kelly Joyner right now is 7th all-time. And again, this is so many things I can't keep it in my head, so I'm looking at these numbers. 28 is his career total because he had such a big game. 40 for number 6, that's B.J. Daniels, and he is within range of maybe in that 4th all-time situation defensively. And I know you got to see it firsthand as well. They're TFL, 9th in the country right now. How about 38 total in the last 4 games? It's great when you score 59 points, but 14 of those points were defensive. They've been a big part of this.
A big part, and when you think back a couple of years ago, that was such a need on this program to get pressure on the quarterback and create some more havoc, and now we're seeing it. USF has become one of the top teams in the nation in terms of sacking the quarterback and getting in the backfield. These numbers are starting to climb every week, and they're, you know, we got 2 more games and hopefully a bowl game to go. Who knows where it could finish?
And defense travels as it did last week. So apparently so does the rushing game for the Bulls. Their 8th 200-yard rushing game on the road, starting with last season. That leads FBS, and their road rushing average in that time is 241. Now, you're not going to be at home this week, but you have a good excuse. You're not going to be on our radio broadcast because you'll be with men's basketball.
Yeah, the Myrtle Beach Invitational. The Bulls, after dropping their first 2 games, look like they have a chance to get on a little bit of a roll, to get 3 games in 4 days. Before coming back home to the Yingling Center, so a chance for men's basketball to really get their feet under them. And again, we've talked about it, a lot of talented newcomers on this team, and I think as December gets going, we're going to see this team really hit its stride.
They've been fun to watch. The women's basketball team will be in Disney playing Louisville on Sunday. Then they go to the Cayman Islands. So we're all over the place, but we'll, most of us anyway, be at Raymond James Stadium on this Saturday at 3:30 for the senior night win. I'm sorry, what did Freudian slip game against Tulsa. I don't know why I was thinking win. We'll talk about the game next week on Bullseye. For Caylee, Cottrell, and Joey Johnston, I'm Darek Sharp. Keep those horns up.